Hello everybody, welcome back to SheffPlays, and today we're going to be doing a top 10 first-person games. It wasn't going to be first-person shooter, but now looking back at the list it kind of ended up being that. So, yeah, let's boogie. And for the background of the numbering, I just looked up first-person FPS wallpaper, and that's what came up, so I slapped some numbers on it. Number 10. Halo Combat Evolved. This is a game that I've been getting back into since I got my Xbox. I play a ton of the SWAT on multiplayer online. I love the campaign, it's so fun. It feels like Halo, but it definitely feels like the start. And it feels like something that's great, and something that is going to be great in the future. Sorry if my voice is a little off, my nose is a little stuffy. Number 9, Conan Exiles. So this game can be played in third person, but we're talking specifically the first person because that's the only way I play it. This is a survival game. If you've been with the channel for a while, you know I love survival games. That is one of the harder ones, but it's super fun, super rewarding. All the unlockables, like the weapons, the armor, it's all super cool. It is a super expensive game though. All things considered. Like, very expensive. When you can include all the DLCs and stuff, it's like $160. But it is a ton of fun in the end. Number 8, Atomic Heart. I was going to put this one higher on the list, but number 8 felt appropriate. Because it's a fun game. It's got some unique parts to it. But I didn't find myself getting as glued to it as I did other games on this list. This one isn't necessarily in a particular order, but it kind of is. Does that make sense? Pretty much number 4 through 1 are in order. The other ones are just ones I enjoyed. Number 7, Wolfenstein, The Old Blood. This was the first Wolfenstein game I ever played. I was more of a Doom and Duke Nukem kind of guy when those games were in their early stages. Or at least when I first got access to them as a kid. But I didn't really get into Wolfenstein until the new games. And I've gone back and played the old ones and they're just as fun, but I really like The Old Blood. Probably because it's the first one. Some of these are nostalgia based, but that's fine, it's my list. Number 6, Doom Eternal. I was really tossed between Eternal and the first one. I'd say they both have their own good aspects. Eternal, I didn't find myself getting into the campaign as much as I did the bonus mode, whatever that was. The campaign for the first one was also okay. But the first one, where that one was better, was the build your own map mode, whatever that was called. I don't even remember. But that game was pretty cool, but ultimately I do like Eternal more. It's more intense, I think. Number 5, Duke Nukem. So, I can't remember which one it is. It was the first one on PS3, and I just remember having a field day with that game when it came out. That one was so fun. Me and my buddy played it for like 5-6 hours straight, which back then was a lot for us, because we did play a lot of video games, but we were also outside in the woods, like wherever, all the time, at the park. So for us to put that much time into one game in one sitting when it wasn't nighttime was intense. Number 4, here's where things are starting to get more in order. BioShock, the first one. I don't think Infinite and 2 are bad, but the first one is definitely my favorite. Definitely holds a special place in my heart. And that's not even because it's the one I played the first. The first BioShock I played was 2. And like I said, still a phenomenal game. Obviously, I'm playing through it on the channel. But the first one is definitely my favorite. I know that game like the back of my hand. Like, I've beaten it and done the New Game Plus to max everything out multiple times on multiple systems. And it's just, it's a game I can always go back to and rely on and play through again, you know? Number 3, Back 4 Blood. I think this game gets an unnecessary amount of hate. I absolutely love it. I played the beta. I got the max edition, which it's crazy to think was like 2 years ago now. But I still think it holds up well. All the DLC consistently added things that were awesome. I still go back and play it. I have like 200 hours into it. I absolutely love that game. I think it's super replayable, and especially with all the updates, like the duffel bags and the new levels, the story itself is pretty good. The only thing I wish that it allowed was for you to go straight from like chapter 1 to chapter 2, chapter 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, without having to reset everything. I know you'd be like an OP monster by the end, but it would be dope. It would feel really cool. Or if not, make that the static point, make it an option, you know. That would be really dope. I don't think they're going to bring any more updates to the game. I highly doubt it. I think it's over. But if they were to, that would be something I would love to see. Number 2, Resident Evil Village. I wanted Resident Evil game on here, but I had to really dwindle my options to, if I remember correctly, Dead Aim 7 and 8. It was a little closer between 7 and 8, I'm not going to lie to you. Dead Aim's not bad. Oh, well, there's also Umbrella Chronicles. But regardless, Dead Aim isn't bad, but 7 and 8 are just, they're really good. It definitely was a toss-up between the two, but I've definitely poured more time into Village than I have 7. Or we'll call it Biohazard. But I've definitely poured way more time into Village. Probably a similar amount of time that I have in the RE4 remake, which is kind of nuts because that game, I think I have 100 plus hours on it already. But yeah, number 1, this will not be a shocker to anybody who's been with the channel for a while, but it's Call of Duty World at War. This game will forever be one of my favorite games of all time. I still play the multiplayer online. I still play zombies online. I still play them by myself. Granted, with multiplayer by myself, I just turn on another controller and go hunt them down for 10 minutes. But I still have a blast with that game. Even the campaign. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's because, not counting Black Ops 2, World at War was one of the first Call of Duties I really enjoyed and really found myself digging into. I had it on the Wii when it came out, and I beat that campaign front to back so many times, like co-op and solo. It's just always been one of my favorites. It always will be one of my favorites, and I don't even really care for Call of Duty anymore. I think it's gotten too easy, because like if you've seen me play on live, I'm pretty solid at it. I'm not good at Warzone, but the multiplayer aspect, I'm a tank. Like, I'm good. I think it's because everybody tries so hard to focus on the movement aspect and all the stuff that they've added, and I just run and gun, play like I would World at War, Black Ops. Like, it's not fun for me anymore, and the only time I do get new Call of Duties is if they have zombies, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, that's my list for the top 10 first-person shooters, or first-person games, because Conan. But if it wasn't on the list, you know, it doesn't mean it's a bad game, doesn't mean I think it's a bad game. These are just the ones that are in my top 10. Yours might be different, that's totally fine. And if I picked one in a series that you didn't enjoy more than the others, I just limited myself to one per series, otherwise there'd be Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3. Like, I used to be a big Call of Duty head, but not anymore. But yeah, you know, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one, which will be Bioshock. I just, you know, I like to do different things here and there. So, yeah. See ya.